wanted me to be successful, and I just thought this was the best place to be successful.
Is there anything, I mean, what did he tell you any specifics of why he thinks you would be successful in this? I don't know if some of those conversations are private, I'm sure. But
no, I mean, we've worked out together, so we definitely know each other's skill set, and so he's definitely told me my style of play would fit in great here, so that's kind of why I chose Ohio State.
So seeing that this past year and seeing how they kind of changed up their offense this season, that was one of the things that kind of sold you on the program.
Yes.
What do you think of the wide receiving core coming back? Obviously, there's a good mix of veterans like KJ and some other seniors, you know, like Austin Mack, Ben Victor, and CJ Saunders.
Yeah.
A lot of young guys like Olave. Just what do you think of the wide receiving core?
I think they're great players. I mean, we've gotten out and thrown, and they're all great players. They're definitely athletes, and they're all able to make big plays.
Justin, how anxious are you about the decision, the NCAA decision, and how confident are you that it will be granted?
I mean, I'm not really anxious. I'm not really rushing any things because, again, I don't really control that. They do, so I'm just trying to get here to be the best quarterback I can be. And the next question was what?
Yeah, just how confident are you?
How confident? I don't really have a confidence level. I'm not really worried about it, to be honest. I mean, because whatever happens, and everything happens for a reason.
I mean, most people expect it to be granted, but if by some chance it's not, how will you kind of deal with that?
I mean, I'll just put my head down and keep working. I mean, I can't control that, so I'll just be ready for the next season.
I mean, what is the sure you wanted to play more last year, but what was the benefit of sitting and watching? Was it that battle between frustration you're not playing, but realizing you could learn something?
I definitely learned a lot from Jake. He's a smart quarterback. He's a good quarterback, and so I definitely learned a lot from the coaches and from him teaching me in that offense.
What is the case that you made to the NCAA that you should be granted that waiver to play?
What's the case?
Yeah. What's the argument to play right away?
We're not going to go there.
Yeah.
We're not going to go there.
I'd rather not talk about the NCAA thing. I'd rather just keep my focus on the team and the future.
Justin, when you were at the basketball game with Dwayne, I think that was kind of like a big moment for people to see you for the first time and seeing you hug Urban on the court side. What do you remember about that game?
I just really remember the amount of fans there. Like, I've been to a few like Georgia basketball games, but just the fan base there it was packed out for that game. So kind of just seeing that and just seeing the support from the Ohio State fans, I just really think that's a good thing, and I can tell Ohio State has a great fan base.
Justin, I'm assuming
a little over 10
Garrett
minutes, folks.
Wilson. Have you worked out with Garrett Wilson and thrown him the ball and stuff? I don't know if you watched the national championship game. I'm sure you did, but they had some freshman receivers that were making some pretty big plays for Clemson. Is he that type of caliber talent when you is he like somebody who can play immediately?
Garrett's definitely talented, and I think if he does all the right things, he can definitely get some time on the playing field this year.
You grew up in Georgia, went to Georgia. I imagine you were always envisioned yourself staying in that state. How did you have to change your mindset? Okay, I'm going to go somewhere I've never been and adapt to a different climate, culture, everything.
I mean, just looking based on like going back on this and going back on choosing this, I wasn't really worried about where I went or like the climate or whatever. I was just worried about the best place to get me or the best place to develop me for the next level. So that's the kind of the main thing I was looking for.
How much did you know about the Michigan-Ohio State rivalry before you got here, and what do you know about now, and what's your level of dislike at this point?
I mean, I definitely knew it was a big rivalry, but coming here and actually seeing like all the M's crossed out, it's definitely bigger, way bigger than I thought it would be. So I'll definitely be excited for that upcoming game.
What have your teammates told you about the rivalry?
Well, that's kind of private, but just know there's a lot of hate for the team up north.
How does Ohio State's talent stack up with the receivers you worked for from the some you saw at Georgia?
I mean, Georgia, Ohio State, they definitely both have great receivers. So I would definitely say they're all great athletes and all playmakers.
Justin, you talk about seeing the fan base here in Columbus. I mean, does that add any nerves at all? You know, you are coming in here with Tate gone. You're assumed to probably be the starting quarterback next season. You know, you're the highest rated player to ever come to Ohio State. They're expecting you to kind of continue on what Dwayne just did last season. I mean, how much does that add nerves, or do you kind of embrace that?
Nah, I mean, I've kind of learned my lesson on nervousness. So I'll tell y'all a little story. So 10th grade year was my first varsity starting game, and I was nervous as can be. And like the first play of the game, I threw a 5-yard out and I threw it right into the ground. So that's kind of taught me like not to be nervous and just go out there and just play with confidence and just do what you do, pretty much.
And then watching the national championship game this season, I mean, you were in the same class as Trevor Lawrence and some of those guys. I mean, do you look at that and say, I can help Ohio State do that next season?
I definitely think I can help Ohio State, and I definitely hope to be at the same stage next year.
What was attractive about Coach Day other than the NFL tie? What really connected you guys?
Just that he's a players coach, and he builds great relationships with the players, and just kind of seeing the support from the players. And I've talked to some of the players that went here already before I chose to come to Ohio State, and they definitely said they liked him as a coach. So that was kind of another reason why.
Yeah, Quincy Avery, I know, has really talked to Coach Day. You've worked with Quincy. I know Dwayne Haskins worked with Quincy. I'm sure he was pleased that you made this decision. Quincy Avery.
I mean, Quincy really didn't point me in any direction. He didn't really talk to me about my decision. But so I mean, I don't really know what to say to that. But yeah, Quincy's a great guy too.
When you were growing up watching college football, do you have recollections watching Ohio State? Like Dwayne used to talk about watching Troy Smith and stuff like that. Do you have any recollection of watching Ohio State? If you do, like, what stands out?
I'd say the biggest thing that stood out to me was when they won the national championship with Cardell. I think watching him, that was kind of the biggest memory I had growing up watching him.
Justin, you got a lot of questions there about learning the offense. How, like, where would you say you are in that process now? Do you studying every day to get a jump start? How does that work? So
I try to get in. Tom, Coach Yursich and Corey, one of the QCs. Yeah. So I try to just go in with them and just study, I guess, the plays and protections and all of that stuff to get the playbook down as fast as possible.
What would be your comfort level with that right now? You have spring practice started today.
I don't really know because I don't really know the entire playbook, but I think the stuff that I have learned now that I have a pretty good idea of.
Justin, I assume you like the way the NCAA has sort of changed its ability to allow players to decide where they want to go to school and transfer. Why is that important for players to have a little more opportunity or control over where they're playing and how they're playing?
I just think like going to college, having that is you kind of never know what happens, so kind of having that option kind of helps players just choose the best for their future and get where they want to be.
Both you talk to any of the Ole Miss guys or other guys that have gone through the process before making the decision?
Nah.
Both of you and Coach Yursich are new to this school. What's it been like, playing under him over this last couple of weeks?
Yeah, so we've both been grinding. I think right when I got here, we've met a few times alone, just watching film. Even though we had kind of no idea what was going on, we just tried to break the playbook down and break the plays down. But I can tell he's a great offensive-minded coach, and he definitely knows what's going on.
Is it a bit of a learning process for both of you guys?
It is. So we usually have Corey in there, who's a QC, so he knows pretty much the base offense. So we kind of go over there, ask any questions we have to him, and just try to get the offense down the best we can.
Dwayne talked a lot about Corey. You see somebody that you've already been spending. You mentioned him a couple times. What's your relationship been like with him? And I'm sure Dwayne gave you some pointers that he's going to be working through a lot.
So, yeah, Corey's a great guy. He definitely knows how to, I guess, teach an offense. And I probably spent the most time with him because Coach Day's been on recruiting trail lately. So I probably spent the most time with him, just getting the offense down and doing all that stuff.
And what's he like to work with?
He's definitely, I would say he's definitely connects with the players. Just his past experience and being in college and just how young he is. So he definitely kind of, I guess, gets us, I guess you can say, but he's definitely a great coach.
How much contact have you had with Matthew Baldwin, if at all, and how's it gone?
It's going good. I mean, I think me and Matthew have a great relationship, and I think we're both excited to compete this year.
When you gave Ohio State the good news that you were transferring here, what was the reaction? I'm sure they were going pretty crazy with joy, but just what was the reaction from Coach Day? Can you kind of explain that?
Yeah, Coach Day was excited, and I can just really just kind of tell in his voice that he was excited to have me.
And when you decided for sure you were going to transfer, did you know it was probably going to be Ohio State? Was it a pretty close call? When you knew, hey, I'm leaving Georgia, did you know it was going to be Ohio State? Or?
No, not really. I mean, I kind of had an idea. Like, it was really between a few schools, but I guess I kind of had my eyes set on Ohio State the whole time.
A couple more questions for Justin. You made in that UMass game, kept it on a run, made a pretty compressive spin move that caught a lot of attention. When do you like making those plays with your legs? Do you prefer to use your arm? What's the ideal way for you to make an impact?
I try to score as much as possible, whether it's on my legs or throwing it. So that's kind of my thing.
Do you, like, JT Barrett bristled at like being called a dual threat because he wanted to be known for his arm.
Yeah.
Dwayne did that too. Do you have a preference for that? Do you view yourself as that?
As a dual threat? I do, but I think there's some times where teams will game plan for you for your legs or game plan for you for your air, so you have to do run or pass just to do it, just to really win the game.
Just want to confirm, you are going to wear the number 1. Is that correct?
I don't know yet, but I definitely hope so.
Were you nervous about how your teammates would embrace you when you transferred on?
No, not really, because just growing up and going to camps with guys, I mean, I kind of just, and I knew some guys already here, so just knowing the guys from my class at least, I knew that we all had great relationships, and we talked before I came here, so we were kind of already friends.
Did you feel like you fit in, as soon as you arrived?
Yes, sir.
Justin, sitting behind Jake this past year, there were a couple of big games, obviously, that you guys played in, one of them notably being that game against Alabama. Just how much was it eating at you being on the sidelines in that game, and how much competitive fire did that give you going into wherever you thought your future was going to go?
It wasn't really eating at me at all. I mean, I was just trying to be there for my teammates and just support them. So whether it's him being on the field or me being on the field, I just want the best for the team, really.
But when you play against a team like Alabama, do you get an itch to get on the field, or is it more of that support your team?
I think all competitors, of course, want to play, but you also have to be a team player and kind of just not be selfish and just want the best for the team.
Justin, you might have addressed this already. I apologize if you were. We saw you at the basketball game with Coach Meyer and Dwayne. Just how has Coach Meyer helped you get acclimated here? Has he had any?
Yeah, Coach Meyer, he's definitely kind of, I guess, talked to me a little bit, like right when I got here, but he hasn't really been around that much, so I haven't really talked to him that much, but just kind of, I guess, seeing the impact he's had on Ohio State, I can tell that he's going to affect the program, even though he's not on the coaching staff. So just having him here, just as a mentor, will probably definitely affect my future.
And Angelique, last question.
Sorry, piggybacking on Dan's question about the process and not asking specifics, but having gone through it, how important is it to have a lawyer navigating this for you and kind of taking care of all the details?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know much about this process. I mean, so all that lawyer stuff, my job is strictly football, so all this like NCAA stuff, I really don't kind of have a great, I guess, understanding of it. So I'm just here to just make the team better.
Was the objective for you to not have to deal with any of this?
Was the objective
for you to be able to concentrate on football?
I'd rather not have to deal with it, but I mean, doing what I have to do to, I guess, get eligible, but my main focus is just the team and this upcoming season.
Justin, thank you.
Thank you, guys.